And now, it is finally time to begin our Second Nations campaign. Not with this one. I just wanted to mention that from a strictly objective standpoint, both of these missions are deployment maps, and the lab map is in Showstopper. So technically speaking, the optimal route is to beat Showstopper, then the Gold Comet lab, and then do these next two. But I know you all want to see Sensei, and I do too. So let's do this. A battle is fought upon the shoals at twilight. Youth learns a lesson. Oh yes, I remember this line so much.
Sir? So much for adder time.
I think I'll take a crack at it.
And so, it is time for the return of a legend, in more ways than one. Okay, I really like the rendition of that mission intro theme.
Well, well, what have we here?
Huh?
I have no reason to tell you anything, old man.
You know, son, I don't like war. It's tiring.
And I alluded to this all the way back in Advance Wars 1, but yeah, this is true of both games, and I love that Sensei is the one to explain this. Oh boy, Ada, you have never faced Colin. Yeah, this dialogue's pretty much word for word, I remember.
If you don't grasp what I'm telling you, then you've got no hope of defeating me.
And that is very true. See, I love this mission so much. Its story is simple, but the fact that Ada just completely underestimates Sensei, being like, oh look, it's an old man, this'll be easy. And, well, you're about to see where that gets him.
He who laughs last, laughs best.
Oh boy, Ada, you have no idea. Because it's time for some of the best music in the game, and, sorry to talk over it, but one of the best COs in the game. Some people say this guy is almost Sturm levels of broken, but the thing that I love about Sensei is it's not immediately obvious. This former paratrooper was an unbeatable CO in his day. He excels with foot soldiers and copters. Sensei's foot soldiers gain plus 40 to firepower, which is even more than Sammy. That makes his infantry and mechs pretty ridiculous. Battlecopters gain plus 50 to firepower. Advance Wars 1 max firepower, even if it's just on one unit. His other ground units and naval units suffer minus 10 to firepower. That's a small price to pay. And his transport units gain plus 1 to movement range. So here's the thing about Sensei. Even though he's broken, I kind of like it because I call him a lethal joke character. Sensei only has 3 good units. You might think, only 3 good units? That's terrible. Like, why would I ever want to play as someone like that? Well, it just so happens the infantry and mechs are very cheap and very spammable. And battlecopters are relatively cheap for their price and are one of the most versatile units in the entire game. Also, his fighters and bombers are average, so he can still make use of fighters to protect his battlecopters from enemy fighters. And you might think that he's weak to anti-air, but actually, mechs combined with his sheer power on battlecopters can slice through anti-air like it's nothing. Sensei's only good with 3 units and transports, but that's all he really needs. And he gets even better when it comes with CO powers. Copter Command. New infantry units with 9 HP appear in all cities under Sensei's command, ready to act. So with Sensei, you want to capture as many cities as possible, because that will increase your unit count by proxy. His battlecopters gain plus 25 to firepower, putting them at a ridiculous plus 75. And of course, there's the defense bonus. Super CO power, airborne assault. New mech units with 9 HP appear in all cities. Copters gain 25 to firepower. Now, here's the interesting thing. This is something the original game didn't make very obvious. Copter Command and Airborne Assault give the exact same firepower bonus. This means the only reason you want to go for Airborne Assault is if you really, really need mechs. And oftentimes you don't. Because the reason why these powers are so ridiculous is not only do they make his copters complete juggernauts, they also massively inflate Sensei's unit count, and Copter Command especially only costs 2 meter, the same as Ada's normal power, a CO whose entire gimmick is spamming his power. This alone is probably the reason why Sensei is so broken, because he can just spam Copter Command and just flood the map with a horde of infantry that his opponents will never be able to break through. And also they have plus 40% firepower on top of all that. Also, the infantry and mech units starting with 9 HP is a blessing in disguise. Why? Remember what Sensei said at the start of this map? You can join them together for more money. Which makes Sensei almost as good as Colin, who I'll talk about once we get to Blue Moon, at money, so Sensei is ridiculous in a lot of ways. So okay then, in terms of the map itself, we've got a peninsula in the middle that kind of looks like Italy in my opinion, and I want to make sure that I grab these airports as soon as possible. On challenge mode, this map's actually changed a little bit. Firstly, there's an airport over here. I don't really see much point in going after it. There's also 2 mini cannons, but neither of them are in range of this base or this airport. There's also a couple of bases in this strip of land on the side, and Ada also starts with a whole bunch of air defenses like anti-air and missiles. And now, let the brokenness begin. Let's start with getting transport copters out, because I want to get this peninsula as quickly as I can. And yeah, I guess these guys will advance over towards here. I have just enough to get 2 more infantry, so let's go for that. Though, I'm not going to have any trouble getting a good technique ranking, because let's just say that by the end of this mission, my unit count is going to be absolutely ridiculous. That's just kind of how it goes with Sensei. One weakness of his CO powers is it's very possible that you'll end up hitting the unit cap without even trying. And then you won't be able to fit in more battlecopters into your army. It'll still take me another turn to grab both of these. This whole land area here, don't expect that you'll be able to make much progress here on challenge mode. My goal is going to be to distract his forces down here long enough for me to build up a whole army of copters and possibly some bombers from here, and then get his relatively unguarded HQ. Now, I do have to be careful when I use transport copters here, because there is a cruiser, slinking around in the darkness somewhere. Now, the good news about cruisers is that battlecopters are really good against them, and Sensei's battlecopters are ridiculous. The other good thing about cruisers is there's 2 of them, and there are no ports on this map, so if you destroy or at least heavily damage both of them, Ada will never be able to make any more of them. Oh, just this song though, this song is just absolutely incredible. Yeah, gotta be careful going around, like, the side of the water, because the cruiser could be there, so instead I'm gonna put the... Okay, I have to, be careful not to, like, take back my moves too much. I want these T-copters to be able to ferry infantry back and forth. I'm just a little worried about potential cruiser-age. No, let's actually have one of you who's further back hop in so that I can get some more people up the front. I am going to need some mechs eventually, that is the thing. And yeah, I have capture animations off. I suppose since we're using Gold Comet here for the first time, I may as well turn capture animations on, but just for this mission. I don't need another T-copter just yet, so I think I will actually get some mechs now. Don't quite have enough to start going all in on battlecopters, but I will eventually, don't worry. Okay, he's already starting to get some transports. thankfully, I'm finally starting to recognize the different noises the units make in Reboot Camp. Like, I can tell when something gets into transport and fog. Took me a little while to get to that point with the original game, but now I'm at that point with this version, which is good, because, yeah, we're going to be dealing with quite a few Fog of War maps, especially, I think I may have mentioned this before, but, Ada quite likes Fog of War. And yeah, again, it does make things a little paranoia-inducing when you're facing him. Yeah, the increased movement means that transport's going to be able to go back and forth without really worrying about these. Like, I am a little concerned that I haven't seen the cruiser yet, but okay, if I drop off an infantry here, I'll be able to start getting this airport soon. Up, there we go, there's the cruiser. Okay, then. See, I don't really need to build recons on this map because T-Cops and Battlecopters have, especially Battlecopters, have pretty solid vision overall. Technically speaking, APCs also are pretty effective for Sensei, but I also have a base closer to the front lines now, so I think right now I'm just going to get some more, yeah, I'll take a few more infantry. The base menu version of Sensei's theme is also really great. I don't think I've seen that line from Ada before, it's pretty great. I do kind of wish there was an option to turn off, like, the mid-battle quips from the other COs, though, because they exist in War Room as well as the campaign, and they do get pretty old after a while. Okay, we've got a few transports moving in there. The thing is that mini-cannons don't even cover that airport or that base on this peninsula, so I can go ahead and start grabbing this, start getting this, well, finish getting this airport. I don't like that cruiser went there, though. Actually, no, it can, wait, how much vision do you have? 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, it can see the transport copter if it goes... that's unfortunate. That's, very, very unfortunate. Right, I will need to get a battlecopter out soon. Because that... Yeah, if I move one of my transports up here, it's gonna get shot. Again, I'm pretty sure there's another cruiser in there. Okay, I'll put this infantry here for now, and then I'll go back and maybe use this T-Copter on the land routes to ferry some mechs over around here, because I will need some mechs there eventually. I'll take a battlecopter from there. I will want battlecopters from around here soon too, but it's just... These cruisers are sort of shutting down my T-Copter usage at the moment. But I kind of have most of the infantry that I really want up on that island. It's not difficult to secure that area. And I'll take a mech here, and, how much income do I have? Oh, I have enough for a battlecopter a day, which is going to keep more than the doctor away. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, we've got some more transport action going on here. I'm actually not even sure whether those two bases start under his control or whether he has to capture them. Oh, hi tank, that's why I wanted mechs down here. Now, he does eventually make a token attempt to get the peninsula, but it usually doesn't last long. And again, Sensei's theme is still, like, one of the best songs. I'm biased, but I might call it one of my favorite songs in all the video games. But okay, we have a copter there. Aha, just in time, too. And yeah, I do need more mechs in this area. Okay, technically speaking, it's more efficient for me to put this T-Copter here, because then the mech will get to move next turn and it'll get to be ferried even further in. Now, here's the thing. I can try to get this city, but from my experience, Ada usually has an artillery and or several anti-air around there, so typically it doesn't end that well. But I can at least keep him a little bit distracted. Basically, that's my goal here, to keep his forces here distracted while I get the real meat of my units around, yeah, the rest of this map. I really want to send this T-Copter back down here, but I feel like, I mean, I don't think he can see me, but... Oh well, I mean, if worse comes to worse and this thing does die, well, the cruiser's gonna get hit by the copters. And see, I'm not even gonna build another infantry, because I'm gonna have more than enough infantry later in this map anyway. And yep, there's the artillery that I was talking about. The good thing is he usually takes quite a while to actually get rockets down here, but he does sometimes. Also, a little embarrassing that's the first combat we're seeing Sensei's face emotes for. And yet, as I said, an artillery and or an anti-air, and in this case it was and. Don't worry, we're gonna wreck Ada's smug face eventually. Okay, yeah, it was a tank on the beach. We've got a couple of mechs coming down there, though. Okay, it looks like, hopefully, the transport copter lives to fight another day, because I'm pretty sure those 2 cruisers are all he has in the water. So, let's go ahead and start grabbing this. Now, I'm not close to Sensei's power just yet, but that's going to change. Trust me, we're probably going to be seeing a lot of Sensei's CO power this map, and do I? Oh, I do not have access to both cruisers. Oh, and I can't actually get in that transport copter because it's not on, like, dry land. But okay, actually gotta be careful about that, because it's an air unit, so he can see it, even if it's in a forest. I'll just put you there for now, speaking of being in a forest. Now, I kind of hate to do this, but this does, again, keep him distracted and gives his unit something to shoot at that isn't the mechs, which are going to be the real threat to them. I do really like the way that Gold Comet mechs look in this version, even if I'm not a huge fan of the way that Gold Comet infantry look, because it's not so much that they changed their helmets, but more the guns are so much less distinctive than they used to be. And yep, that's Sensei infantry for you. They can take 2 HP off a tank, because, yeah, even stronger than Sammy's for some reason. Yeah, I do feel like it is something that a lot of people do personally take slight issue with. The fact that Sensei's foot soldiers are somehow better than Sammy's. Which really shouldn't be the case. It took me ages to realize as a kid that that was because he's a paratrooper CO. But still, I do think, like, Sammy's infantry should be, like, stronger in terms of firepower. In Dual Strike, to kind of spoil things for that game, Sammy actually lost her +1 movement on transports, but Sensei kept his. And I actually think that makes sense, because, again, Sensei's the paratrooper specialist. He should have good transports. But Sammy having, Sammy having good transports does, it suits her playstyle, but I do personally think it makes more sense for Sensei to have that kind of ability. Okay, so, yeah, of course, Ada has a normal power already. Oh yeah, Sensei's more than special. And as I expected, he's not using his power, so I'm really sorry, infantry, but you're probably gonna die. I do think it doesn't really make sense for Sensei to be wasting his troops' lives like this, but, like, you know, playstyle-wise, Sensei has plenty more where they came from. For example, I can now mech that anti-air. It's kind of weird to use that as a verb, but still. And yeah, for those who don't remember from the tutorial, mech stands for mechanized infantry. It's because you're meant to use them in conjunction with transport vehicles. It's kind of a real term, I think. But I mostly know it from old, like, Warhammer, like, White Dwarf articles, where they talked about it in tactics articles. They described a certain kind of army as, like, mechanized firepower or mechanized assault. It means it uses a lot of transport vehicles. I never really used a lot of transports in Warhammer, even though I rarely played it, but that was mostly because they were just so expensive, the models, I mean. But okay, I have Copter Command. I may want to save that until I can actually get more copters into the fray. Speaking of which, hi there, infantry. I'm a little worried about potential anti-air, but I can now get a copter out of here every turn, and that's gonna be, that's gonna be something. Okay, yeah, this guy can go, I guess he can, yeah, you can go a little further in. That's out of range of the cruiser, but yeah, Ada can't get any more cruisers than this, so I'm pretty much set in regards to that. And speaking of being pretty much set, if I hit this anti-air here, I'll confess this is actually my second attempt recording this. My first attempt, I did get a 300-point S rank, but I still didn't quite feel that proud of it because it went on for almost an hour, and I don't think that's as long as this mission should take. I hope I don't speak too soon there. And I think the key here is I needed more mechs down in this part of the map. And, well, now I got mechs down in this part. Now I got more mechs down in this part of the map. Because this is gonna... Yeah, that's a lot of artillery. A lot of things to crash into mobile houses. I'm sorry, we'll just never stop quoting that because it's amazing. And again, I think I will actually get another mech down here. Because, yeah, aside from bombers, these are the only 3 units I'll probably be using this whole map. It does really say something that Sensei...
It only hurts for a moment.
I had a feeling he'd do that. It really says something that Sensei can just get by with just 3 units. Infantry, mechs, and battlecopters.
Sidewinder!
Because it just kind of goes to show that, like, being specialized in a few units doesn't matter how few they are, as long as they just happen... Okay, there we go, there was a rocket down there. But yeah, they just so happen to be some of the most, versatile and cheap units in the game. He thinks he's gonna get that city. I don't like the fact that he put a fresh tank down here and retreated his artillery. I really want those artillery to die. They're the main reason that I can't really make any progress in this city. Oh yeah, there was a rocket and there was an artillery. Please don't move forward. Right, that's a pain. I wanted to get to the... Well, actually, I can reach that artillery with my, I love how it just came in on the piano note there. With my mech if I move that copter, but okay then. So the thing with copter command is you want to use it at the start of your turn. You want to make sure that you have units off the cities before you use copter command. So I'm pretty sure all of my cities are clear. So it is time for possibly the best power theme in the game.
When this is done, let's go home. Copter command.
I love how it sounds like that's coming out of an old-time radio. And here's the trick that you can do with Sensei to get more money. So it's just, again, Sensei's power is just useful for so many things. But okay then, now it's time to see how strong Sensei's battlecopters are with his power in effect. Oh yeah, by the way, if you look at this, yeah, that's a lot of firepower on battlecopters. But Ada did use his power, so these are 10% stronger defensively. Still though, even practically by default, Sensei's battlecopters one-shot infantry that don't have any defensive cover. Now excuse me while I continue jamming out to Sensei's power theme. Because yeah, my goal here is to just slowly creep a bunch of infantry through here and get to the HQ. I'm probably going to have to go for a capture rather than a rout. You know what, I'll get even more infantry up here because I might need it. And I have enough to afford another mech down there. Oh, Sensei's power theme is so good. But now that we've heard Sensei's power theme, the next time we'll be back at Sensei's turn, it will be the start of his normal, music, and that's when I can do something that I used to do as a kid all the time. So, this was kind of my equivalent of, like, Chugga Conroy's Hiker Dance, in that I used to do this to annoy people whenever I played this game. And I was too embarrassed to do it when I first recorded this game, but now I have no shame, and so... I am Sensei, you are an idiot. am Sensei and you are an idiot. Am Sensei and you are an idiot. Am Sensei and you are an idiot. I am Sensei and you are an idiot. Take that. I am Sensei and you are an idiot. Take that. Bow bow now 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 ba 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 da ba 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 da na ba da na. I am Sensei, Sensei. I am Sensei. I am Sensei. I am Sensei, Sensei. Bow, 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 bow now, ba-da, bow. Yes, those are the lyrics, by the way. Those are the lyrics to the Sensei song. Which, yes, is an actual thing that I used to do when I played this game to annoy my sister and my parents. And I am so sorry that I have ruined Sensei's theme for so many people. That's like a horrible, horrible crime, but it is what I did as a kid. It is, and I guess it just goes to show how catchy I found this song. I do need some more battlecopters because one of them is going to die to that anti-air next turn. The thing with Sensei's battlecopters is, like, I am so close to another copter command too. During copter command, they can basically slice through anti-airs like butter. So it doesn't even really matter that, I kind of had to trap myself there. I know there's a tank there too. Just, see, this is an unfortunate situation, though, because even though I have a whole bunch of mechs, I can't quite get them where I want them to, because there are all these forests, and if I move forward, I get shot by artillery or tanks or... Oh, but that forest tile's clear now, so okay then. And right now, that's the only one you can see. I've got more mechs coming in. I have 5,000. I can get another transport copter if I wanted to. Okay, that thing can't hit the transport copter. I was worried for a second. I feel like it's a 9 HP infantry in that, which is not gonna go well. So I might as well grab another transport here just so I can make sure I get a 10 HP infantry to the HQ. Is he gonna do side slip? No, it does not look like he's gonna use side slip. See, with Adder, you do want to be using side slip all the time, because you will see just how many power activations I get out of, okay, that rocket has moved now. How many power activations I get out of this one battle. In fact, I've got another copter command from that. I don't like the fact that you went in the woods, so I have to scout you now. But okay then. Once again, I need to clear the cities. But as long as I have nothing standing on one of my occupied cities, I can do this again!
I've still got it. Copter command.
This is something that I wish I knew when I recorded my original playthrough of this. The fact that Sensei's much better spamming his normal power than he is using his superpower. It is one of those aspects that, like I was mentioning in the kind of quasi-bio, the original game didn't do a great job of telling you, because both Copter Command and Airborne Assault said battlecopters get increased firepower. It didn't tell you how much it increased it by. So and you know, it makes sense to think this, I assumed that it meant battlecopters gain more for the super than they did for the normal power. Because that's just logical. But as it turned out, that was not the case. It was the same for both powers, which again, like, how would you really guess that without being directly told? But yeah, you do basically sacrifice a battlecopter to destroy an anti-air, but which is also not exactly a great trade, because one battlecopter costs 6,000 and one anti-air costs 1,000 less. And I do know that he does have a missile, and I think it is on his HQ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the missile has really good vision, so I've got to be careful as I approach the HQ. I'm kind of hoping that he didn't move the missile, but okay then. You can explode. Sometimes I like to call Sensei's battlecopters bees, because in their map models, they kind of look like bees. and then they're yellow and they swarm over the enemy and obliterate them. So yeah, yeah, Sensei's, again, he's really busted. Like, he's probably the most broken non-Sturm, non-someone else, let's just say, character in the game. But I do find him incredibly fun. Okay, speaking of fun, Sensei's foot soldiers do not get increased firepower. That's the one time they're a little bit weaker than Sand Eaters during CO powers. But, see, I don't... Actually, no, wait, no, I see you because I've got the mech next to you. So I can mech that. Still a rocket down here. So, like, I've probably lost I've lost 7, but I've already have 36 units deployed. So with you, is the artillery still... The artillery's probably still there. This feels like a waste of transport movement. But the artillery was still there, so it would have been a bigger waste of transport movements to try and move the transport where the artillery was. But okay, breaking through a little bit down there. I'm hoping he doesn't pull back his forces to the HQ, because that's exactly what I don't want right now. 14,000. It's going to be a while before I have enough to afford 2 battlecopters a day, but 1 battlecopter a day is kind of enough. Though eventually I might want a bomber. You don't even need to bother with these mini cannons, honestly. They're not really in much of a position. I mean, that's going to shoot that, but it's going to die anyway, so... Okay. 14,000. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to afford a bomber next turn if I save up, so probably should. I'll just go for another mech here and save a little bit of money just so I could potentially go for a bomber later. I'm going to be up 2,000 income soon. And yeah, he barely doesn't have his superpower, which means he's probably not going to use it.
A battle with me is a greater honor than you deserve!
Oh, wait, no, I was totally wrong. He actually uses normal power.
Side slip!
That's actually kind of interesting, because this is sort of how you want to play Adder in a sense, because if you do this, it's possible that he might be able to use Side Slip twice in a row. Because yeah, as I mentioned in the first part, it's a little bit of a complicated mechanic. But if you use your normal power when you are, like, into the superpowers meter, then it costs 20% more than it otherwise would. So you'll be consuming a lot more energy for the power than you normally would be, or at least a little bit more, and it's mostly a mitigating factor to try and stop you from using your power twice in a row. However, that's not really the case when you've got a power that only costs 2. I am incredibly shocked that this copter's still alive, which is great for my technique ranking, even though with Sensei you're gonna get perfect technique almost all the time, because he just, yeah, he just kind of floods units out. I'll be able to get some of his cities next turn. My income should now be 16,000, so I probably will be able to get bombers next turn. That cruiser has moved into a position where, can I actually, I don't know if that's on, like, this is the thing where Wargroove has a bit of an advantage, because Wargroove tells you, like, the exact percentage of HP something has. And you know what? I'm not even going to go for that anti-air at the moment. Although, if I leave it alive, it's going to be in a woods and going to be still annoying. But, yeah. So, Sensei's battlecopters, by default, one-shot infantry on roads. Which is kind of, no, not just kind of dumb, which is exceedingly dumb. Speaking of exceedingly dumb, though, I think I actually do need to have you go up and scout, because, yep, there's the missile. So I have to hit this missile, because otherwise my copters are in danger. It's a little less damage than I would have hoped for, because that goes up to 8 next turn, and that still probably kills one of my copters. So let me just see, because, oh, I do have another fresh battlecopter here. So I probably have more than enough battlecopters right now. That is, again, the thing with Sensei. He just flood out these battlecopters, and he kind of forces his opponent to spam anti-air to deal with them. Like, copters are ridiculously strong and versatile and fairly cheap. Their only real weakness is the fact that, Their only real weakness is the fact that they get one shot by anti-air. But Sensei has mechs and, during his power, his own battle copters to deal with anti-air, so it's not like that's a huge issue for him. Do want to keep some of these copters around, though, because I do want to... Although... I will say... This is really tempting, and I think I am going to go for it, because I believe that is actually missile minimum range, so I'm going to block off one of his bases there. Kind of hope he doesn't have an anti-air in the wings, though. He might. But okay, like I was saying as well before, it's pretty tricky to actually break through down here, because he likes to have a whole bunch of indirects. You can definitely break through here on normal mode, or, you know, casual and classic and reboot camp. It's not that hard, but because there's some bases here in challenge mode, and Ada's likely to get them before you do, and I hate situations like this, because I can't move my infantry away to let the mech hit the artillery without, making the artillery invisible. So, instead, I can try and join camp. I don't know if it's actually going to help, but also here using a transport to, like, increase my movement by 1 on something, by proxy. Okay, I believe, yes, I can only afford to spend 1,000 if I want to afford a bomber next turn, and maybe even... That doesn't even allow for repairs, though, so just in case, I'm going to end my turn now. Because it gets really fun when you start getting bombers. Well, yeah, you could say that. That's one way to put it. Okay, that thing got shot by the mini cannon. I'm hoping that's not horrible, but... Okay, unfortunately, that thing is probably going to die. See, like, again, getting this one city is a lot harder than you might think. Because he does have a whole lot of indirects crowding out this area. He retreated with the tank, though. Unfortunately, this copter's probably dead. Yep, 8 HP missiles are still one-shots on battlecopters. Battlecopters do basically die to any of their dedicated counter units, but at the same time, unless they're like on 2 HP like this, at the same time, though, they are a lot cheaper than fighters and bombers. So you can get, usually there's more where they came from. Hi there, please don't kill me. Nope, that's fine. It is interesting how, like, this is one of the first times you're seeing the actual, like, comet design on the battlecopters, because, on the transport copters, because, yeah, apparently they were bugged and looked like Orange Star, transport copters in the original game. Okay, I can definitely get a bomber now, so, before I do that, I'm gonna... Yeah, now that cannon does force you to take a little bit of an awkward route with the battlecopters out from this place. However, battlecopters can actually fly up and hit that cannon. And now we get the bomber. I don't know if I'll even need a bomber, to be honest, but we'll see. Oh, you APC are a pain. Let's just swing around and hit this from the other side, because this will scan out the other base. Has he built an anti-air there? He has not, for some dumb reason. Now, the other question is... Okay, I can definitely get my infantry within capture distance of the HQ this turn. It's just that thing is a little bit of a pain. I do have copter... Like, is it worth... I mean, if I use copter command, I may actually be able to... Huh. Actually... This is really strange, but I do think Copter Command is worth it this turn. Because as long as I get off the cities, I don't have anything on my own cities, I can do this again.
See what experience can do for you. Copter Command.
That's 3 in one battle. And in my other attempt at this, I got 4. So the reason why I did that is because of this. See, this copter can now one-shot the APC, getting it out of the road, meaning this transport can now... I would have actually been able to plonk the infantry on the HQ if it weren't for my other movement, but oh well. The other reason I did that is because you can now... Oh, actually, it's quite a one-shot. I was hoping this would be a one-shot, because then I could plonk something on this base and block him from building even more units. But I mean, I can do this, finish this off. And now the base is clear. If I go, you get in there, you go here, I drop you off, you can start capturing the HQ next turn. So that means I can get it in 15 days, I think. Also, I could do that, but if he has anti-air, that's not gonna last long. And finally, I can actually spot this artillery and get a mech hit on it in the same turn. There we go. There are still rockets around there, though. Don't even know if I'll end up getting that city, but maybe I'll get it eventually. I mean, I can try and scout out some things with my transport copter here. There is, yep, another artillery. But he only has a mech from that base, so it's this base I'm worried about. Please don't be an anti-air in that base. Also, how much have I lost? I've lost 10. I am actually going to go for an infantry spam here, even though I have my power going. Okay, do you have... Yeah, you've almost got your superpower again. Anna, you are losing to an old man. And that's actually not an insult when you're going up against Sensei. Because, yeah, that's actually one thing that I've heard, like, in some of the comments on YouTube on Sensei's power theme. It's like, an old man, when it comes to, like, a war profession, that means that they've survived that long in this profession. And that means they've got to be tough as nails for that. Because that's the other thing about, I kind of alluded to this earlier, but one thing that I do really like about Sensei is that he is a surprisingly respectful depiction of a war veteran for such a cartoonish setting. It's just one of the ways that Black Hole Rising takes itself a little bit more seriously, even though Sensei does, like, occasionally he does have that whole old man thing played for laughs, but also, again, like, his tactical prowess is still treated completely seriously. Just for the lols, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to hit this cannon. Sensei's bombers are only average, but average bombers are still amazing by any standards. Let's just start capturing that, because why not? Please don't have an anti-air down there. Nope, it's just a mech. Okay. My battlecopter is running low on ammo, but that doesn't matter at all, because I don't need my primary ammo to deal with foot soldiers. So, okay, yeah. Again, normally if you're facing Sensei as a human player, I guess I can kill this now. Let's put this out of its misery. I let Ada keep it for a while, just, out of mercy, but, now is the time to end that mercy. I was about to say I feel bad, but I don't, it's Ada. That's another thing about Black Hole Rising, is that you don't really feel bad about fighting any of these enemies because they're all just so unapologetically evil. And they're all just such good love-to-hate characters that they're not really the kind of generically unapologetically evil villain like Hans and Iago, who I'll keep using as punching bags in Fire Emblem Fates, who are hateable for all the wrong reasons. I thought there would be something there. Oh, but it's a rocket that's in range of my mech, so that's perfect. Finally, I can get revenge on this rocket. If I let this go on for like a few more turns, I finally get this city. I could, like, maybe try and rout him, but it's going to be faster to end up getting the HQ regardless. Just hope he doesn't have anything that can possibly interrupt my capture. Also another battlecopter, just because why not? And he basically can't build anything more in his main base. This is pretty much over. It's going to be, I think, 2 days faster than my other attempt at this too, which is good. Yeah, see, that cannon can shoot there, of all places, but I'm not really sure why that specific tile is somewhere that you'd really want to be threatening with a cannon.
Sidewinder!
Now, I have that peninsula basically blocked, so I don't think there's much risk that... Oh, high medium tank, okay. But I don't really think there's much risk that, like, an anti-air could suddenly come through there and damage my capturing infantry. It's kind of sad that my bomber is really not going to be doing much, but oh well. Sometimes it's fun to build a bomber just because. Okay, he finally did get an anti-air, but that's a little too late. Yeah, I'm not really sure if he actually does, like, respond to what you build. So I guess, yeah, the only contribution this bomber is going to make is destroying that cannon. And let's just get a few of his cities while we're out. I mean, these weren't his cities to begin with. They were our cities and he took them. So we're just taking them back. You know, I just thought it was something funny. I could actually deliberately sack my battle copters into that until I get another copter command, but no, I think I won't go for that. I probably got this, so let's go for just another infantry splurge, just for good measure, even though I probably don't need it. And transport copter. Yeah, 63 units. That's probably more than good enough for technique. Let's end this. Oh wow, it ended on a great point in the song too.
Sensei, you did it! You are victorious!
I am? Oh, that's nice.
Oh.
Yes, luck. That's why you lost this. Luck!
Aha!
So, I mentioned this in my original Black Hole Rising playthrough, but I'll say it again. There was a CO in Super Famicom Wars called Mr. Yamamoto, who was essentially Kande with no drawbacks. All of his units started with like plus 40% firepower.
What?
He wasn't actually a yellow/gold comet CO, he was an unaligned CO, but Sensei's Japanese name is like one character off of Yamamoto, and it's likely that Sensei is a title and not his actual name, so it's vaguely implied that Sensei is Mr. Yamamoto. At least I like to think so. And yes, many, many victories await with Sensei on our side.
Guess I still have a trick or two up my sleeve.
That's not a very difficult mission, but it's a very fun showcase of Sensei's abilities. So, with Anna being thoroughly humiliated, as is always satisfying, I'll see you all next time for Kanbei's first mission in Advance Wars 2. And oh boy, if you thought Sensei was fun to play as, Kanbei might be almost as fun. See you all then.